Log into gyroscopemeet.com, the hottest online radio station in the world. GS Radio all day, all night, worldwide. Powered by Gyroscope Media Group, LLC.
GS Radio, the best internet radio station worldwide. Providing the best in music and talk shows. Go to www.gsradionj.com and check out the best internet station in the world. You're listening to GS Radio, internet radio station powered by GMG, LLC.
In the beginning there was Jack, and Jack had a groove. And after a while, a deep sleep fell upon him, and he went looking for a new groove. He began looking for a new nation, and it had to be a soulful nation. And he found it, and it was Soulful House Nation. And he saw a building. It was a tall building. It had 10 stories. And he entered the building and got on the elevator and pushed the 10th floor, but it stopped on the 8th floor. And that's where he found his new groove. And he began to jack and jack and jack and jack. And he knew that this was it. It was Soulful House Nation on the 8th floor. Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Soulful House Nation. Get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I am DJ Dan Soulful House Nation. I'm coming to you live from the 8th floor. I am your unusual suspect. I'm here with my co-host, Lorena. Lorena, say hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, hey. Well, I'm super excited about this. I want to thank Marcus for making this happen. But I've known about you for quite some time. So it's really, really
I'm an old head.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm an old head.
I wasn't going to say that, but anyway. But I've known about you for quite some time. I know you've done some stuff with one of my buddies, Crystal Lavelle, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But we're going to start off with the opening stuff. Just, tell us a little bit about you, your background, where you're from. That kind of stuff like that.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, so tell us a little about you.
Okay, I'm a North New Jersey baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Brick City.
Yeah. Yeah. I was born in Newark. Been there most of my life, but now I'm in South Carolina. But,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. What part of South Carolina?
Columbia.
Real? Okay. So listen to this.
You got a story.
My family is from Columbia, South Carolina. Most of my family lives there. They live on a big part of my family lives on Bluff Road. I don't know if you know what Bluff Road is.
Yeah.
Okay, you heard of Arthurtown?
No.
Okay, all right. So that's on that. Yeah, but Columbia. Okay, now. All right.
Yeah.
So most of my family's in Columbia. Wow.
Okay.
All right. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What made you put it? Huh? Yeah.
And so look at the font already.
Uh-huh. Right. Yeah, so no.
Yeah,
Well,
I love it because I love the weather. I'm glad I got away from all that snow.
okay.
Snows of I can't deal with this snow anymore.
Okay.
Understandable.
Wow.
Understandable.
Yeah, I just talked with my sister. My sister's down in Columbia. Anyway. So now, how did you get started with music, and who were some of your early influences?
Okay, in a way, I have to give homage to my parents.
Okay.
Because as far as I can remember, we used to go to the Apollo like at least once a month.
Okay.
We went to the Apollo.
Uh-huh.
So I grew up looking at groups and being influenced by what I was saying. And like I said, in my younger days, like grade school days, my parents had a grocery store.
Okay.
We had a grocery store, but it was kind of more than a grocery store because we sold everything.
Oh, okay.
We sold everything, and my father, he kind of like taught me, in a way to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
So, like I said, I was young, and I had my own little business in the store. I sold records.
Okay, gotcha.
I sold posters and custom. I mean, not custom, but costume jewelry.
Okay.
So within that, he used to take me to the distributor to pick up records,
Mm-hmm.
So I had, started with records back, back then, and that was around the time that the Jackson 5 came out.
Okay.
Love
Back
Yeah,
in the 70s.
that,
it.
around that time, and I did pretty good, and my parents never had to give me allowance. I made more money than they would give me for allowance. Well, they didn't have to give me money for allowance because I have my own money. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so I said I started from that point. As far as music, and as I got in my teens, I was in a couple of bands.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, playing congas.
Mm-hmm.
So
Guys.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I was I did that, and remember that was that's before technology. The technology uh, kind of changed everything up. I mean, being in a band, we would go to as a band we would go to the different bars and play and
Okay.
perform. So there was no then when disco came and uh, DJs were able to buy um, their own equipment,
Mm-hmm.
they became the band. You
Right.
know,
Yeah,
'cause
right?
the bar didn't have to pay. They didn't have to pay. 5 or 6 people. To have something going on in their place.
Mm.
So
Okay.
so I moved up, got my equipment, and I must have played at every at that particular time. I must have played at every bar in Jersey. On Springfield Avenue.
Okay.
You know, so and like, and my cousin from Philadelphia. He was like my brother. We were very close. So I I used to go to Philadelphia a lot, and
Mhm.
he was DJing too,
Mhm.
and so between me DJing in Jersey and DJing in Philadelphia, that's what I did. That kind of brought me into the music thing. So
Okay. Now, what made you um made you go from want to go hard with producing instead of like most people just listening?
um, at one time I met James and Tume,
Oh, okay.
Mm,
and,
nice.
and he explained to me um, what a producer was and what a producer does.
Mhm. Right.
So that kind of gave me a little you know wanting to produce. And
Mhm.
plus, okay, and at the time, I was into um, um, South Soul Records
Oh, sure.
and and um, and Prelude. I was into those two labels. I love those two
Okay.
labels when they were out. And then when when they folded and wasn't you know, they were no longer around, I was kind of hurt. Not, I loved them so much. That sound. I said, hey, I can do this. I had already, when I was growing up, I already knew the distributors. I knew I knew all that. I knew how to. I always knew the record. How to make a record. At the how they made them at the pressing plant and all that. So and then by me being a DJ, I saw DJs like Jelly Bean Benitez and
Love Jelly Bean.
Larry Patterson and T. Scott. Their names on the record. And I said, I like that. I want to be like that.
I got you.
I want to touch that.
Okay.
That. So I did my first record. And I had my own label. And put my name on it.
Yeah.
So I was feeling good. I did not know, but I really didn't have the thought of this would turn into many records. I to this day I can't believe I got over 100 records.
Oh wow!
You go on Spotify. All my music is there on Spotify. Yeah.
Now, you've been in this, you mentioned Southful Records. That's Ken Care, these guys like that. You talking the 70s. That's when disco was big, Prelude, back in the day in the 80s and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So here's my question to you. So you've known about house music when it first came through the door. Where do you see it headed?
Where do I see
Right.
house music heading today?
Yeah.
Well, in a way, to me, I hope I can explain this. House music today is like the new pop. It's a new pop. Where it's going, I mean, right now you see or you hear commercials on TV using house music. So it's already it's in the fabric of life now. So it's just going to just grow into that. It's almost like if you think of disco and some of the stars in disco, like Evelyn Champagne King and you hear those people when they play their music on radio today, they stick it in R&B. It's not. They don't even call it. It's because it's grown out of the yeah. I think that's where house music is going to eventually just move. Is going to move. Like 10, 20 years from now. You hear Martin Circus.
Yeah.
On. They're going to put that. We're going to play the new R&B with the old uh classic, but it's gonna fall into to the R&B category. So you know, it's just gonna mature. It's just gonna mature to that level.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm gonna just you mentioned Prelude record. That goes back to the 70s too. And I mean, now, of course, you know, I'm not old enough to, know about that. And all this is all homework and research. But anyway, some of the I remember no, I'm sorry, from research, I realized, some of the people who were on Prelude, like like uh, Jocelyn Brown was on Prelude. Let's see. What's her name? France Jolie was on Prelude.
Yeah.
Hey, how about this one? D Train was on Prelude.
Hey.
Yeah. So those are just some of the people that I when I did my homework, right? Now I'm going to mention a song here that you got to do your homework on. I know you remember this, and you remember the song "Musique," in the bush, all that kind of stuff like that.
Oh my
Prelude.
I was another part.
Bush in the bush.
Yeah.
See, I only know about that stuff from research. You know that, right?
Okay, Dan.
I lived it. Those are my basement parties.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Lorena, why don't you jump in for a little bit here? Yeah, with some questions. Mm-hmm.
So I'm honored to be with a producer. We have royalty with us tonight.
Oh, come on.
We have with this evening, Mr. Ace MUNGIN. So I understand that your inspiration is Sly Stone.
Yes. Yes. Growing up, that to me, that was the group for me. Listening to him, and I even tried to dress like him. I
love it. I need a picture of that. Did you take a photo?
I don't have it. I've done some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll mention this. I don't know where to fit it in what we're talking about, but when I was DJing, I didn't do it all the time. But like if I had a big party to do, there was a hall in in Irvington, New Jersey.
Okay.
It was called the Coronet.
Okay.
I used to do parties there, and just being influenced by what I was seeing, I had my silver suit, like
I had one too.
Yeah, like Patti LaBelle and used to wear LaBelle.
Oh, that's silver.
Yeah.
Okay, Ace. Okay,
Yeah.
Ace.
I did crazy stuff like that. I had that going. I had a giant weather balloon in back of me, like it was a spaceship,
That's awesome. I love it.
So, again, I was influenced by, everything that was around me, I guess I wanted to be a star.
Okay.
You're a producing star.
Yeah.
So, Ace, can you tell us who you've worked with? I understand you've worked with Shravani.
Yes.
What song was that?
Shivani, we did Always There.
Yep.
Love
A remake of Always There.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I remember being asked to perform. Shivani was performing at a club in Jersey,
Mm-hmm.
and one of her dear friends, my dear friend as well, asked if we could come and dance while she sang on stage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that was introduction to Shivani. So, hey, shout out to
Yeah.
Shivani.
Right.
Yeah, that's my girl. That's my girl.
Interesting, because I actually met her also.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I have Always There. Okay.
She's friends with one of my best friends. She's a friend of one of my best friends.
Okay.
Wow.
It's about
Yeah,
producing.
and that record, um, I don't know, helped her. The people overseas, Black Box, needed somebody to be the face of Black Box, since they had to get rid of the girl that they started out with, because she didn't sing.
Mm-hmm.
She was just a face that couldn't sing.
Okay.
That they needed somebody,
He's someone who could sing.
yeah, somebody that can represent, the group.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Interesting. Wow. I remember along those times that I remember Martha Wash was doing stuff,
Oh,
and then they put these some other faces on there. I remember at one point. And and Martha Wash, did Weather Girls and all that kind of stuff like that. I think two tons of fun.
Unfortunately,
Mhm.
they felt that she didn't have the body,
Right.
the physical look that they wanted.
Right.
So that's why they didn't, they shunned away from getting her to be the person to.
Right. But what's interesting about that is that you don't even know or remember who the people that they stuck in for Martha Wash. But Martha Wash, everybody knows. Isn't that crazy?
Right.
They
that is
with this certain look, and I don't even know who the other people were. So
Mhm.
I mean,
Poland Cavillas.
oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Cool.
Everybody dance. Oh, that was big. I think that was back in '92. Yeah.
Everybody dance. That one?
Everybody dance now. Dun, dun,
Happy.
dun, 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 dun. Yeah. So, right. Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
I'm a product of that era.
Okay.
Yeah.
My next question to you, Ace, is what was it like when you heard one of your songs being played on the radio?
That was a high that I just, it was a deep high. Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you go celebrate?
I probably went out and celebrate, but yeah, I have arrived.
Yes. What a feeling.
Yeah. I had a lot of those feelings too from a lot of different records that I was uh, uh, associated with, like Blaze when they first came
Lovely.
out. Yeah, because I was we all started out together. I was in the studio when those when they did their first well, my label ASB was the first Blaze release. First, I did their first record.
Okay.
Mhm.
There's Kevin Hedge and
Yeah.
Milan.
Hedge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ace, is anybody that you like to work with?
Um, I wouldn't mind doing a gospel house record on Fantasia.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that would be fabulous.
Yeah, that would be nice. And I wouldn't mind working with Jennifer Hudson. Yeah,
Mhm.
she's
Is
Mhm.
that
so
Mm. Wow. That's
so,
all good stuff.
so is it true that you were going over to the city in the 7th and 8th grade, Ace?
yes, but my parents, again, like I was started telling you, he
Yes.
kind of like was teaching me, in his own way, how to be a businessman.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he would even like we were driving to New York, leave me on one corner,
Mhm.
and I would walk to the different merchants that were selling their jewelry, medallions, and he dropped me off. I walked myself to those places, and the people in those places, they got a big kick out seeing me, you know,
Right.
buying stuff.
Expressions. What were the expressions on their faces when they saw you walking, conducting
Yeah,
business like a little man?
yeah. Look at this. They were shocked.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then, they gotta used to seeing me all the time. 'Cause we used to to New York like every Sunday to the
Mm-hmm.
merchants, and I
Mm-hmm.
would buy my stuff for what I'm gonna be selling. And
Can you
Now,
tell us a little bit about how you go about producing a record or a song? What is your process?
well, usually um over time I have a team, and we would collab. I would like have an idea what I want the hook to be,
Mm-hmm.
and start coming up with the lyrics to
Mm-hmm.
fit that hook. You know fit that hook, and but my team, um, we work good together.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that's basic. Uh, I have a idea. I like this hook. Let's sing about this. Uh, I want to let's sing about celebrate, or let's sing about this, and that's why in a way um, I have done a lot of gospel,
Mm.
but I
That's
think the best person to sing about is God.
Mm.
yes,
Okay.
You know,
agree.
All right.
you know. But
We all
every once in a while you want to sing about the opposite sex, but
Mm.
mm-hmm.
but give God a play, let him feel him, you know, uh, and just being on the dance floor and singing about the Lord, to me, that's
All right.
celebrate the praise him in the house.
All right.
There's something about when you hear a gospel house music song, you feel it. I mean, you feel house music, but a
Yeah.
gospel house music song,
Yeah.
it resonates through your entire body. Like
Mhm.
you can help do this and
Yeah.
that. You can't help it.
Yeah. 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 What the person is singing about is, I would say that music has a DNA.
Okay.
Yes.
It has a DNA. Because when they're singing, they their expression, they're putting their feeling, into the song, and that's coming out.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me jump in a minute. I want to ask this question here. You know, so you've been in the game for quite some time. Um, what's your motivation to produce? And you know what? And I'm just gonna, like, something popped into my head. Just want to add on to it. Like, say originally when you started out versus now, or the evolution of your motivation.
Yeah. Well, it changes with time. You know, as the scene changes, I mean, you change with the scene, and so you have different motivations
Mm-hmm.
within the, you know,
Mm-hmm. All right.
within it's.
Well, let me ask the question another way. Let's say in the beginning, was it fame, then it became money, or money never was a thing for you, or fame, or just getting your stuff out there, getting your truth out there? I mean, what happened along the way? Or is there obviously some level of passion? I mean, what's
Well, yeah. You know, creating something that that speaks to people, and seeing how how they express themselves on the dance floor to your music. That you know uh I've been that. And then again, being a DJ, and wanting to emulate some of the things that was around me, like uh, producing and having my reel to reel in front of
okay.
me, and my razor blade, and doing my remixes. It's just like, to this day, I lost it. I wish I had it. I had did a mix on Billie Jean,
Okay.
and I had to say, and no, I'm pushing my own thing. It was hot. It was hot.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
know.
And so I was doing stuff like that. You know, I had desire to to do it for a couple of radio stations, but that didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to do some mixes for Larry Patterson.
Okay.
God bless his soul.
Right.
He's not here with us anymore. But I used to uh, do mixes for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did them for me, and I let him. He played it. He loved them so much. He he
Yeah.
so I went through that phase. And you know So I also had a, cause I had a I had my own underground club.
Okay, didn't know.
Tell us about that.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me.
Tell us about your underground club.
Oh, it was nice. It was nice. I had a it was always packed.
Mm.
Always packed. I don't know how I'm bringing up places in Jersey you might know.
Mhm.
On William and Horsey Street, there was a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
Jay's, I think it was called. Was it called Jay's?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not sure.
It was on the corner. It was on the corner,
Of where?
William and Horsey Street.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I
Maybe
don't know
before,
Patterson.
maybe before my time. I don't know. I'm 58. I don't know.
I'm 26.
Well, I mean, it was a really popular restaurant.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, before it was a restaurant, on the second floor was my club,
Okay.
and the restaurant used to be a jazz club.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I'll tell you, I'm going back. I feel like I'm old, so old. But,
Yeah, go. We love it.
but anyway, it was a jazz club, probably one of the top jazz clubs in Jersey at that time. Matter of fact, you had two. It was two clubs. You had on one side of the street was it was called Sparky J's,
Okay.
and on the other side was the Key Club. It's called the Key Club.
Yes.
Like I heard of the Key Club.
Yeah, you heard the Key Club.
Club.
But they're having I think a club next not too far from
Started with the T.
anyway it
It started with the letter T, though. I know what you're referring to. It started with the letter T.
mm.
Mm.
Well anyway since I was over top of the bar, I had the owner had a liquor license that covered the whole building.
Nice.
So I was a club that had alcohol, and you didn't. Most of the underground clubs that were around at that time did not have alcohol.
Right.
So that was my thing that made my club very popular.
Mm.
And plus, a lot of my clientele used to go to the garage.
Okay.
I'm going to go way back here for one moment, way back. Do you remember the Starrington House in Montclair?
Ooh. Ooh. On the corner there.
Yes.
Research. You know that's research, right?
The name, I'm feeling the name, but I can't picture.
Yeah. It was a nice place.
Across the street from Atlantic Bell, which is still there, but it's not in service anymore. But it was right on the corner on Bloomfield Avenue across from Lackawanna Plaza.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
wow. Wow.
Nice spot.
Yeah.
I was going to get in, but I remember the place. I remember the
Yeah. Look at all this research I did tonight. Anyway. Okay. So.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, is there any artist or producer or song that you heard now that you would like to remix, add your touch to it?
Yeah, when I read that, I thought, yes, I do have a song that I would love to remix.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I need to go back to trying to get the rights to do that. Tina Campbell that sung with Mary Mary.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
She did a solo album on her own,
She
and
did.
yeah, it's a song on that album is called Life. I would love to.
Okay.
I'd love to
Hey,
remix that song.
I think you can make it happen, Ace.
Yeah, cause now they have software that will allow you to take the music
Mm-hmm.
out of the track, and get an acapella.
Gotcha.
So I might do that and do it and reach out to her once I do the mix.
Gotcha.
Maybe if she allow me to, put it out.
You know,
Yes.
I have one more question along those lines because you really go back because you talking about slicing music and things of that nature. So I know you go back, and I remember from research, you had these little things. You have that song, and you needed that beat, and you had to slice this little piece here, put that little tape over it. You had to. I did my homework.
Surgery.
Anyway,
Performing surgery.
so I mean, how do you feel about having the software? I think with the software, it allows you to do magic at a whole nother level. And do you have a software of choice? I just was wondering. Mm-hmm.
No, no, I don't.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So how do you still cut and slice, or do you use
I done got lazy. I done got lazy now. I let the guys that I work with. I let them do that.
okay.
You got something for that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So in other words, you tell them what you hear, and they do it. Is that right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to join you on that route. Yeah.
Hey, Ace, did you ever consider yourself as a mentor?
No.
You are.
Well, yeah. I guess that's why I had this T-shirt, HB University,
Okay.
because my studio, I had a lot of producers come through the studio, a lot of guys making their records,
Mm-hmm.
and they learn from each other,
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in a way I was mentoring, but
Yes.
they were mentoring each other,
Yes.
because they all got from each other. I guess it was like my own little version of Motown.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I get it. I get it.
Yes. I personally know someone that you have mentored, and they appreciate you for everything that they learned from you. You are a mentor. Ace, the mentor.
Uh-huh. Now, Ace,
Oh, wow. That's good to know that once I leave this world that
Mhm.
that I left something. Well, I feel good that I'm leaving music, that people like, and
Mhm.
I love the site Spotify. I love that site.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like, you know, I can hear today's stuff. I can hear the old stuff that I loved and like it's all there. You know, whatever I like, I can put it in a playlist and
Yes.
I gotta tell you, for me, you raised a tremendous point because, again, I know this from research, but back in the day, they would play a song and you had to wait till they play it again, or you had to, flip stations to see if you could hear it again. Now you go and you just go back and hit that song. And then once the song played out, that was the end. You couldn't hear it anymore unless you had a record. But even then, it really, really, really forget about it. You talking Spotify, Apple? Listen, absolutely. And then it's so cheap, like $10 a month, $12 a month, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You can literally,
Yeah.
and then too, what it'll do, they have the algorithm set up. So if you play this song, it'll give you another song. You say, oh yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're not careful, you can sit there for hours going through. Anyway, well,
Technology does have its advantages. It does. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yeah,
So,
when I did the first song on Ace Beat, the thing that I like that was to me was new was sampling.
oh, okay.
Where I could take a piece of something else and put it here and oh man,
That's exciting.
I sampled James Brown and I want to hear him holler. Put that
Now, speak of sampling, all right. So, if you go on to some different sites, let's say with house music, this is a first question I have. You can hear samples, but it's mostly like I'm gonna say KTU style house versus BLS style house. Where do you get that sound? Because ours is like I'm gonna say more soulful than metallic, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
Where do you get those samples like that? What sites or whatever?
Well, I think for the most part, a DJ that has accumulated a lot of different style records, you will find little pieces from different songs that you probably wouldn't even think of, take that and put it, stick it,
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Again, like I use for an example, my first song that I did with my brother Paul Scott. In that song, like I said, I had James Brown sampled in there. I have a piece of Yes, the group Yes.
Yeah. Owner of a Lonely Heart.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
I have a piece of that in there, and so or you could take a part of what God said, a drum loop or drums might do something interesting. You just take that little piece of it, and stick it in there.
Right.
So, technology,
Right.
allow people that weren't that didn't know how to play the piano or anything. They can, technology has allowed them to make something interesting
Mm-hmm.
and for the people, you know.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Hey,
That's
I'm sorry. Mhm.
no, I said
Mhm. Yeah.
that's where music is. I mean, basically, like I started out saying, I was in a band, and
Right.
then we got rid of the band.
Mhm.
These days, now he could be a whole band. And it'd be like, I he the band don't have to learn how to play James Brown. I'll just play James Brown.
Mm-hmm.
The crowd, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, band. Sorry, band.
Yeah. So, Ace,
Yeah.
what can we expect from you going forward? What's on the table at this point?
Well, I just mentioned my brother Paul Scott.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he just he we just did a I ain't gonna say a remix. I say a rework of the original song, which was called "Off the Wall."
Okay.
We just released that on the label.
Okay.
Nice.
So I got that going.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All
On
right.
Ace Beat Records, yes?
Mhm.
I call myself. If you look for me, I'm Ace Beat Music.
Okay.
That way,
Ace Beat Music. Okay.
so we're not expanded. Music has expanded. I ain't gonna say that but music has expanded to. We're not playing phonograph records anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel.
So if you type in Ace Beat Music,
Mhm.
that's where I'm at.
All right now. I'm a
Now,
big Matt.
any final thoughts? And also, if people want to follow you, keep up with you, how do they do it?
Facebook. You can find me on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I have three pages on Facebook. I have Ace Beat Records,
Mm-hmm.
Ace Beat Music.
Okay.
You know, so that's two, and my own Ace Mungin. Uh,
Okay.
All right.
so anybody wants to find me, just hit me up on either one of those three.
Okay.
You know.
Our viewers appreciate that, Ace.
Oh, huh?
Our viewers appreciate that. Thank you.
I wanted to. We didn't talk about one of my girls that I'm so proud to have produced.
Talk about
Have
it.
a production on her
Okay.
Talk
was
about it.
Alicia Myers.
Okay.
Talk about it. Let's go.
Okay.
Alicia Myers. What's good with
Hey
Alicia
now.
Myers? What's going on?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's my girl.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow. Oh goodness, you're talking classic now. Uh-huh.
yeah. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping that will become uh uh well, I guess it would be a classic now.
Mhm.
We did it in 2010, I think. Yeah,
Mhm.
Well,
2010.
yeah. Well,
And we allowed a couple of DJs to do uh their version. So there's a lot of versions of the song out there already.
Okay.
well, this is what I would say to you. Two things. Number one, we certainly would want to check for it and I just know how to get it. It's on Track Source or where?
Yes, it's on tracks.
Yeah, so
It's out there.
yeah, so yeah.
Any all the well
All the outlets?
platforms. Yeah,
Okay.
all outlets. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I know that's what it's. It's a couple of different versions out there too.
now, what's the name of the song? The song Clear?
Uh, um, right here, right now.
Oh, really? Okay, because David Morales, I think, did something with that too, right?
No.
Right here, right now. It's a really, really strong opening. I got it. Okay. Okay, that was 2010. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
2010.
The Myers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I got to tell you, I'm just going to put this out there, put it in the universe. We would love to interview her if you could make that connection. She's a classic, not only, I mean, she's like a club classic. Plus, on top of that, even with people who play house music, they know and love her stuff. And also, too, let's say if you're going to play straight up house, I mean, that's excellent to warming up. So, yeah, so it's all good. So, right.
I've been enjoying this conversation. Really, really.
Good.
I'm so happy to hear you say that. Thank you.
Yeah. Because it's another group that I'm proud to have on the Ace Beat label.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Blue Magic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Listen, let me tell you something. All right. We're always looking for opportunities for the music. So if you think that we can help you as far as putting the word out, getting stuff out, I'm a phone call away, a text message away. All right, just so you know. All right.
Yeah. Because I would have Ace Beat as a label that's my baby.
Got you.
That's my baby, and we've done a lot. We've worked as a label. I can't believe it myself that I've been able to work with so many beautiful people, like what I just mentioned. Jeff Red.
Okay.
We have a record on the Byron Stingley.
Okay, I interviewed Byron.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have another one of my mentors who really, really taught me a lot was his name Pick.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Conley.
Who?
Pick Conley.
Okay, Pick Conley. I don't know that name.
He's the flute player on the group on the group Surface.
Oh, Surface.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a really big. They went #1 in the country on one of their songs. I remember Surface.
Yeah.
All right.
Tell me with your love. They were playing that. I was at all the weddings I was doing that. That was the
What? Pick. We call him Pick.
Okay.
Well, he's a good writer. He did what he worked with one of the Jacksons that I can't think of her name. Or Rebe Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah, he worked with her. He also worked with Alicia Myers, but the album he did an album with her, but it didn't get released in the States. I don't know why.
Mhm.
But he used to play with um uh and Mandrell.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
Okay.
he used to play with. But anyway, he taught me a lot being with him because he's legally blind.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was in the studio working with him, because I was in a lot of sessions. I was his eyes, so
Oh,
Mhm.
I learned a lot from him. So that was
Mhm.
my personal being in the studio with the Isley brothers and
mm,
people like that.
Oh,
mhm,
nice.
mhm,
Very nice.
So I had to give a shout out to him because that's my boy.
mhm. Okay.
Definitely.
Wow. Any final thoughts? We come in for a soft landing. Any
Any gems
thoughts?
you'd like to leave us with?
I just want the house community to stay close and support each other, you know, because I believe the community is a beautiful community, and let's just do it,
Mhm.
let's do it all.
Yes, you man in community.
Well, thank you. Ace, thank you
And
so much.
I like what you're doing too, Dan.
Okay.
What you're doing is what the scene needs, you know.
Thank you.
Aw.
Yeah, just real quick, thank you for saying that because August will make 9 years. And along the way, you can get a little tired. Along the way, you can say, I don't know if I'm having any impact and things of that nature. But I'm happy you said that because that
Mhm.
gives me that oomph I need, to keep going, you know?
Yes.
So, yeah. So thank you.
Yeah, I know that feeling exactly, You know, I can't believe that the label, my label, HP, has been around 40 years.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And to
Kudos to you, Ace.
yes.
Wow.
Kudos to you.
Wow. Well, folks,
Ace, it's a pleasure meeting you. It was a
yeah.
pleasure speaking with you. Thank you.
And anything that you're doing and you want to get the word out, you know how to hit me up. You can call me, text me, email me, whatever's good for you is good for me.
Mhm.
And we'll have
Okay.
make announcements. You got new stuff or any stuff that you want to get out there, tag me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Okay. You
Uh,
you did do didn't you do an interview with Kelly Cal from
yes, a couple times.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, out of South, and she's out of Columbia too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I interviewed her.
Well, I'm at her functions that she do every
Yes.
once in a while.
yes.
Yeah,
Huh?
Mhm.
yeah. She's doing a real beautiful thing.
Yes, she
I
is.
mean,
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kelly Cal. Also, I
Dr. Kelly
interviewed
Kell.
out of Columbia. I interviewed Tony Gray. Also, Tony and his wife, Tawanda Gray. So, yes, I'm telling you, I'm deep in Columbia. And like I say, my family's from
yeah.
Columbia.
I'm waiting for you to show up at one of her functions.
Oh, well, you know what? When I'm down there, yeah.
Dan.
Uh-huh. Well, listen, Ace, again, thank you so much for spending time with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
good, good, good. I
Glad
did too. Mhm.
I did too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Dan, Soulful House Nation, coming to you live from the 8th floor I am the unusual suspect. My co-host, and what is your name, young lady?
Queen.
Okay.
All right. Go Queen.
Okay. All right, folks.
All right.
All right. Okay. Thanks again. Hey, good night. God bless. All right.
Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Mm-hmm.